Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So glad you could be here. We have a nice crowd on the webinar today, and I want to get right into it and make sure we get going because we have some exciting stuff to cover today that I think will change a little bit about the way that you look at your day. But first, just some basic housekeeping items to review that I'd like to go over each one of these webinars. The first of those is that every time I do one of these webinars, I try and just talk about my very simple goal for everybody, and that is to be productive, be profitable, and have fun. And being productive is the foundation for everything we do. If we aren't productive, we can't get to anything else, and we won't feel like we're moving ahead. Being profitable, economics still drive this world, so it's important that what you do brings you financial gain of some type, at least during what I call pay time, or during the day when you're away from your family, friends, hobbies, or other important things that you'd rather be doing besides just being at work. And finally, have fun. Life's just too short. We have to have fun. I believe if you're productive and profitable, it's a lot easier to have more fun. And I've had the ability to experience that over the last few years by increasing my productivity, becoming more profitable in our business, as well as in the time I spend with my family and friends. It's truly transformed my life, and I'm trying to share some of these lessons with you through these series. So I hope that you'll get a lot of benefit out of this and share with me some value that you receive from that. One thing to remember too is that productivity and time management is something that we all wrestle with. Doing stuff is not necessarily being productive. Stephen Covey emphasizes in his book that there's a huge difference between being effective and being efficient. Being efficient is when you have to get across a big field full of weeds and you just take out the machete and start whacking your way through. Being effective is climbing up the tree on one side, looking where you want to go, and then making sure that you guide the person with the machete in the right direction. So that's what we're really trying to focus on here, is being effective to make sure that we're getting through things as best as possible. Also, as I mentioned, this is an ongoing series, so if you missed the last one, you can catch up at john-toy.com, and I'll also be posting the replays so that you're able to see them and catch up on any webinars that you missed. We will be hosting them every 2 weeks, so I hope you'll put that on your calendar and continue to join us for these informative sessions. Also, I can't make you more productive if you're spending all day on a webinar. So we're going to be in and out pretty quick, 10 minutes of content and then some live Q&A so that you can get back to work and get going. So if you do have questions, please make sure you post them on your panel there. There's a spot that says questions. Just type that right in there so that we'll be able to get right in and answer those. Okay, now on to the content. First, I wanted to share with you a quick little quote that I found that I really liked. And it says, if you don't master your time, it is of a much higher probability that you'll become an unconscious slave to people who have mastered theirs. And that's from Brandon Shreen. It's a very true statement in why you're here today. You want to master your time so you can get to the things that you love doing, and you spend more time with the people that you love, the hobbies you enjoy doing, and things that you want to be doing on a regular basis and doing more of. And not taking control of your time will cause you to fall prey to some other people who maybe are really good at managing their time, and that's put them in positions to do that. And then finally, another one from H. Jackson Brown Jr. says, don't say you don't have enough time. You have exactly the same number of hours per day that were given to Helen Keller, Louis Pasteur, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein. Now, it doesn't say that you have to be like those people. It just says, you have the same 24 hours. So make them count for you. Make them mean something for your values, your life, and the things you want to do. All right, so first, congratulations, because you're a winner. And it's an awesome prize, but here's some of the rules I want to go over with you. And it does involve money, which I think you'll enjoy. So you get $86,400 each day deposited into your bank account. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, you got to use all of that $86,400 every single day. Now, you can't transfer any of the money or invest it in something else. Any unused money is lost forever. Now, the question and the thing to keep in mind is that the bank can end the game at any time, no questions asked. So, what would you do with all that money? I mean, that's a lot of money every single day that you're able to now spend and use as you choose. Would you give it to charity? Would you buy fun things? Would you pay off debt? Go on vacation? Ultimately, it's up to you what you'd want to do. Well, the reality is this is a real game. In fact, you get 86,400 seconds each day. As we all know, life is fragile and it can end at any time. So it's extremely important to know what your time is worth. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Why do you work so hard? What are the values that keep you moving each day? When you combine that with knowing what your time is worth, you can then stay more motivated to get even more accomplished. So this is a powerful chart that I received from a guy by the name of Dan Kennedy, and he has taught this for many years, and it changed the way that I look at time. And again, as I said, it's not necessarily all about the money, but time certainly can be money. And we want to be sure you know just how much your time is worth. I've got many other things that drive me, as I mentioned, like my family, things and activities around our faith and our church and things we're involved with, other activities I do outside of work. But to make that happen, for me to be able to do what I want to do and still earn a comfortable living that I want, I got to make sure that I'm super productive at work. And so when I'm there, I want to make sure I'm focusing on the right activities, the right things, and making sure that I'm getting things done. So this chart kind of gives you a breakdown of what your time could be worth. So let's just say, for instance, you want to earn $75,000 in a year. Well, that means that each hour is worth approximately $38.42, and every minute is worth 64 cents. So a simple question you can ask yourself is, have you ever wasted 64 cents? Have you ever wasted $38.42 or any other number depending on what it is for you? And the answer is yes. We've all lost a minute of time for something frustrating or stupid that we had to work on and fix, or perhaps we were interrupted by someone that didn't knock or didn't ask if we were in the middle of something, and we lost that time on productivity that we were trying to work on. And if that adds up and you waste just 1 hour each day being non-productive, you could lose over $9,000. Now, the reality is you probably don't lose that money, but now you got to make that up somewhere else. Instead of enjoying a normal 40-hour work week or 50-hour work week or whatever your normal work week is, you got to make up that time somewhere else because it was taken away from you. So what I did, I created a little spreadsheet to kind of help show how this can be affected, and I thought it was pretty neat to just plug in a bunch of different numbers here. So let's say you want to work 40 hours and you want 2 weeks vacation and you want to make $85,000. Well, you can see now that every minute's 72 cents, every hour is $43, and a full day you want to make sure that you're generating revenue for yourself of $345.53. An hour wasted a day would be now equal to $11,000 an entire year. So it just goes to show kind of how valuable every minute is and every hour is that you're trying to be productive. You could also use this for a company. If I wanted to look at my company and say, all right, I want us to do $900,000 in sales next year, and I want to work 40 hours a week, but I want to take 3 weeks vacation. Well, every day then I need to be generating $3,700 in revenue for our company, and every hour we want to be focused on $470 per hour as well. Every minute, $785, and whoa, if we use an hour wasted every day, $120,000 could go out the door. So this is real sobering too from a company standpoint when you look at it and try and evaluate what is involved in your time and your money and what it's worth. So again, money's not everything. As I said, a lot of other things continue to motivate me and keep me focused, but I have a big piece of paper in my office with my number that tells me what each hour is worth to me, so that it continues to keep me focused on the fact that, every minute does matter, and it's important that I control my time. And as we talked about in the last webinar, your values and your goals and your ambitions are what drive you, and many of those ambitions are going to be around certain levels of success or things you want to accomplish. So if you're not very aware of that, keeping it in front of you, then you'll let minutes slip by, you'll let hours slip by, and suddenly days will go by and you will not have accomplished what you wanted to do. So we're almost up on our 10 minutes here, so let me just run through real quickly what the next steps for you would be based upon this information. Now that you know how valuable your time is, you need to use it and invest it wisely. Okay? And I also strongly encourage you to know your number. How much is your time really worth? Have you thought about that before? And if you haven't, just take some time to examine that and figure out what it is, and try and use that as a motivator combined with your goals. And finally, what are you going to do with your time today? There's still several hours left this day. You can be productive, or you can be like a lot of Americans and say, it's Friday, I'm tired, I'm done, I'm ready for the weekend. But I don't know about you, I plan on being as productive as I can for the next few hours before I leave to make sure I'm accomplishing my goals and driving them forward, because I know what my number is and I know what my goals are that are driving me. So that's it for content today. I do hope that you will join us for the next webinar to discuss the next tip that we'll be talking about. I do appreciate you participating. And again, take action, be productive, be profitable, and have fun.